Happy Monday, everybody. It's November 14th, and we're going to take a look at our week 13. I had to look at my calendar. I couldn't remember for sure. Week 13, we are almost done. So there's not a whole lot of new stuff going on other than just reminders and things of what's happening. But I did want to address some of the things that I have seen in the AP or the FAR drafts that I've seen so far. I haven't seen all of them because, of course, they were only due last night. But I did get a chance to look at some of the ones that were turned in early. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the common issues so that you guys can be working on that as you're finalizing the FAR. So with that being said, let me open. I'm actually going to share a couple of screens today. So let me go ahead and get all that set up. All right, so right now you're looking at our course. And as usual, I just want to take a quick look at the syllabus, which I have to be not signed into the student view for. And as I said, we're in week 13, so everything is almost done. We are in the second of those two kind of work weeks right in a row. This week, what's due is your PowerPoint for the presentation, and then the resume and cover letter draft, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. So I'm not going to go over that one other than just kind of briefly, but I will remind you that you have access to all of the previous walkthrough videos. So that would have been covered in week 11. If you want to go back and really dig into that a little bit more, feel free to do so. But those are the things that are due this week. So let's go to the actual module. Where did it go? There they are. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to turn on the student view. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are in week 13. For learning materials this week, I do have some new stuff for you. You do have a link back to our textbook, so if you need anything from the textbook. And then I also have a lesson on presentations. This is downloadable. You can also just click on it. This is a, it is a presentation that I have done for other classes. It's in PDF form, so you can download it and save it if you want to, or you can just go through it here. But this is a document that talks about how to do effective presentations. It is not specific to our class. It is good information. And I don't know why my computer's so slow this morning, but anyway, you can load it. But it talks about presentations in general. So this would be helpful no matter what kind of class you're taking if you have a presentation to do. Then we have some additional resources from YouTube on the PowerPoint stuff. If you have never used PowerPoint or you're very new at it, there's some really good YouTubes out there. I've got a couple here. This one is really a beginner's guide. So if you need help getting started with the PowerPoint, this is a good one to watch. In terms of how to make your PowerPoint look good and be effective, the second video is good for that. And then finally, I have my own video, which is on resumes and cover letters. So this one will help you in addition to what we talked about back in week 11. I also have a sample document that you can download. This is you could use this as a template for the cover letter and resume assignment. So check that out. Couple things real quick on that assignment. With the resume, I want you to use your current information. With the cover letter, I want you to write a cover letter for a job that you may or may not already be qualified for. So something in your field. If it's you want to be aspirational and look at something miles ahead, that's absolutely fine. Or you can do something that would be more relevant to today, but you're going to have that in your portfolio. And so the document, since my documents are not loading, I'm not going to click on this, but this is a Word document, I believe. Yes, this is just a Word document. All right, so when you're ready, of course, then for the module, you'll go back to turn your work in. The links for this week's assignments are right there. You've got the resume and cover letter draft, and then that one is going to be revised for the final portfolio, which is due December 4th. So you'll get your feedback on that just like you have on all those others that were marked draft, and you'll turn that in again. Then we have the FAR presentation. This is the PowerPoint. You already know what the content is for your FAR, so you're creating now a presentation based on that information. So this is where you'll turn in the PowerPoint. You'll turn in the video next week, at the end of next week. Now you can go ahead and turn it in if you want, but if you want to do both of them at once. Next week, I will say in the learning materials, I do have some information about how to create and submit video presentations. So if you did want to get that done before Thanksgiving week, feel free to look ahead in week 14 for that information. And the other thing I wanted to show you is some basics about the APA stuff. So a lot of people had problems with the formatting so far, and especially with internal citation. This is an academic document. Even though it is a technical writing document, it is also an academic document. So every piece of information that you find in research needs to be cited. So that's something you want to be very, very careful about. There's resources earlier in the class that will help you with that stuff, but I also wanted to point you in the right direction. So when you go to the Lake Sumter Library page, this is their home page, and pretty much everything you could possibly need to get help is available here. The Citation Center is the place where you can find the APA template as well as a guide to citing sources in APA. The APA section is below the MLA section, so you do have to scroll a little bit, but everything that you need is right here. And I want to show you this particular template, the sample paper template. So I've already got it open. This is exactly what your document should look like. And the nice thing about how they've got this set up is it shows you how to do everything. So I'm going to attach this. I'm going to save this on my own computer and attach it. To our discussion or to the announcement this week. So you will have it in Word format, but it's always there for you. It also does a really good job of showing you what a references page is going to look like and all that good stuff. So I'm going to give you this again. I'm also going to remind you that you are writing something for a 2000 level class. And most of the ones that I've looked at so far really only have research from the internet, which is problematic. When you are writing papers for a academic class, you should be using academic resources. So if you have not used the library to search for information on your FAR topic, you need to do so. I don't care if some of your references are websites, but you need some legitimate research as well. If you are having trouble finding information in the library, because I always get the argument, well, I couldn't find anything in the library. I mean, it's a bad argument. But if you are having trouble, then reach out to the library. There are links here for how to contact them during regular hours. You can use the Ask Us button. You can email any librarian. Personally, with my classes, the people I work most closely with are Kevin and Nora. But any reference librarian would be able to answer questions about how to find resources and things of that nature. So just, one final plug that this is a major assignment for a 2000 level class. So if you have zero library research in it, it's gonna impact your grade. Let's just be honest about it. Make sure that you do carefully look at my feedback on the rough drafts. and make sure that you make any changes that are suggested there. Most of it, honestly, is not content. It's nuts and bolts stuff, but that's important too. And it's an easy way to earn points. It's also an easy way to lose points if you don't pay attention to that stuff. So I would urge you to make sure that you are taking a look at that feedback when it comes back in. Like I said, if you turned it in before yesterday, you probably already have it back. So double check that. And those of you who turned it in on time, you're still on time. Everything's cool. But I'll try to get those back to you as soon as possible. The final version of the FAR isn't due until 2 weeks, I think. So I think it's fine, but I will still try to get it back as soon as possible. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope everybody has a great week 13, and I'll see you next Monday for sure.